Start with My Hero Academia, right? My Hero Academia?
Yeah.
All right. So we're about 10 episodes in to this season of My Hero. I don't want to say it's been bad, but it hasn't been great, to say the least. Not saying I'm hating on it, but I just feel like they could come a little harder. Pause. I don't... Okay. Even though I started with hate, let me say this. So the past couple episodes, well, not even past couple of episodes, all the episodes up to this point have been a training arc. They're still in this training, like, city thing, and they're doing the team battles. Next episode will be the episode that Deku and Shinzo finally, get to throw hands. I'm interested to see how that goes, knowing Shinzo can't fight and Deku is literally a god. So
Yeah, I'm letting you get the positivity out because
okay, all right.
There's very little positive things I have to say.
Okay. Positivity from my side. Okay, so to start off, the Tokoyami fight, well, the Tokoyami / Momo fight. For what it was, okay, so I'm examining this for what it's worth. This show is not a super super serious, deep show. It's not like these kids is actually dying, at least right now in this point. So taking it for what it is, the fight ended pretty well. She ended up giving them some thermal goggles. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. I think that shows Momo's creativity. I think him learning how to fly mid fight is also pretty putting his cloak over him and then having the bird carry him. That was also
Hawks taught him that, which is kind of
the other team was kind of mild, but they still ended up losing. They pretty much only had the big fist girl, and then the rest was randoms.
Yeah.
Lita's fight or Ida's fight was actually pretty fucking turd. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like they hoed Todoroki.
There's no way. Yeah, they did, but there's no way that you can say that fight wasn't turd.
I didn't like it. No, I thought they hoed Todoroki for little to no reason.
Why do you think they hold him?
So one of my things,
Tetsu is full steel.
Yeah,
he's literally the full metal outfit.
But think about how he has the same thing as fucking Kirishima, and he literally was the first one out on his team. But anyways, one of my big things with the show is I feel like they try too hard to try to even out the screen time for characters.
Yeah.
They try too much. So I feel like what happened in that fight was Todoroki's had too much screen time up to this point. So we're not going to let him go super crazy. Ida hasn't had screen time for a minute. So let's let Ida go crazy. Do you see what I mean? It's never I feel accurate to how the characters will really perform. It's accurate to how the plot wants to affect their screen time.
Yeah. But I mean, that's not necessarily I feel like that's one of the gripes about writing a show. So when you write in a show that has multiple characters, especially multiple characters that are pivotal to the story, you have to give them some screen time. Everybody got to
I feel
eat,
every person in Class A don't need to have their own little arc, don't need to have their own little story with every fight. I feel like it's unnecessary. And I feel like it only really hurts the people at the top.
Yeah, I feel like.
I will say one thing positive before we start cooking it. Yeah.
All right. But before we get on Bakugo's fight, I want to say, the Ida fight was actually pretty turned. The animation on that fight was impeccable. I mean, it's not like My Hero was a low budget anime, so the animation is always gonna be turned. I can say that for certain. The anime, and the animation is always gonna be turned. So on that tip, it was good. I actually like Ida's character a lot. How he's super virtuous and I want to save people. For some reason, it doesn't feel corny coming from him. Honestly, I think it's because of his brother. I think him being the little bro and being him looking up to his brother, I want to be just like my brother. I feel like that makes it less corny as compared to him being I want to save everybody because I couldn't save my friend before.
I personally don't really care for Ida. I think he's mid. I don't know.
Oh my god.
I understand.
Who do you like on this show?
I understand.
And Todoroki.
I mean,
nobody.
All the characters that get nerfed, Mirio is my very favorite character.
Yeah.
Nerfed, All Might nerfed,
nerfed into oblivion too.
Literally, All Might is so nerfed, he has no chance to even throw hands with one of the students.
Bro, every time All Might is on screen in his deflated form, the way they
it just hurts.
The way they draw his face so pointy is just so hilarious to me.
Yeah,
his little hair be sticking out. They make him look so malnourished and down.
Yeah.
Bad. It's hilarious.
He do look so down bad every time they show him.
Literally, the one guy though who was fighting the drill kid, the monkey dude, the karate monkey. You know what I'm talking about.
The karate monkey.
Yeah.
No, I'm lost.
The karate monkey with the tail that actually didn't do
Oh
anything.
yeah, that has no powers, just a
Yeah.
tail. He has no quirk. His quirk is having a tail. Like,
Bruh, that karate monkey literally didn't do shit, bruh. He didn't get a kill. He didn't give a kill. He didn't do anything.
he
literally,
never does anything.
Bro, he literally just sparred with bruh for a couple minutes and then waited for Ida to come save
That's
him.
one of the main things that I feel like this arc is like taught me is that like a lot of Class A is really trash for real.
Bruh,
Like really garbage.
Bruh,
like,
even Uraraka said that. She was like, yeah, everybody over there quirk is kind of live, but we can float stuff and make stuff burn, and we got sticky balls. And they was
Literally.
like, yeah, but they was like, yeah, we kind of trash. And I was like,
I
yeah,
realized
you
that
are.
because Todoroki's team, besides for Ida, trash.
Yep.
Bakugo's team was garbage.
Tape-
and Deku's team was
Man,
garbage.
Bruh, Tape
like
Man, like, are you serious?
literally.
They gave Bakugo Tape Man. Be for real.
Can I get into Bakugo yet?
Go
Because
ahead, go ahead.
it's time to
I'm gonna let
gas.
you lead on Bakugo.
Bruh. So first of all, the main thing with Bakugo this whole time has been that his flaw is that he doesn't want to work with nobody. He don't fuck with nobody. You know,
Yep.
he's all ego.
Yep.
This episode, he was like, "Fuck that! I'm about to show y'all how lit I am. I'm working with people."
Yeah.
And so that episode to me has been the best episode so far.
I agree.
Because him working with them was so lit, and the fact that he won no injuries in 5 minutes with the team he had was insane. That to me just showed that like Bakugo, like his main flaw, like if he starts working with people,
It's
he should be the best person in class.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Which
true.
is why the next episode pissed me off so much. But like
it was like
the ending was so funny too. He was like, Deku talked to him. He's like, "Move, scum!" And he was like
I'm-
10 feet away. He wasn't even near him. Like,
He was like, oh well. Bakugo's fight, like I said, the animation is always gonna be turned. Every time Bakugo fights, it's a pleasure to watch on the screen. I feel like the people they had him fighting, like so let's go over who Bakugo fought. Number one, he fought the girl that could split herself into 50 pieces, right?
yeah, which
The
that,
lizard, the
that
lizard
shit was
girl.
kinda cool.
He fought the horn girl. You know what I'm talking about? The girl that
He fought the dude. Didn't he also fight the dude that like got like the blades shooting out the side of him, like the lizard looking? dude?
yeah, the sword fall. He fought him, bruh. But that horn girl, her accent was so hilarious.
It was so
in the
funny
sub.
in both. Cause I watched one episode of both, and in both it was terrible. Like in both it sounded so bad. I was like, what?
It was hilarious in the sub. Like when they try to have people speak English in sub, it's always hilarious, bro. Even when they have what's the microphone dude name? You know what I'm talking about? The dude that's a microphone. His power is
Yeah.
being loud. They be having him speaking, and he'd be like, "Come on, let's go." That should be funny as fuck, bro. Oh my god.
That's what I love too about Bakugo's episode was it wasn't like he was working with people and he was like mild, like calming down. Like he was
Right.
still pissed, like
Yeah, he was still
angry,
turned.
like
Yeah, he was still
he was
turned, but he
still
was
like
like-
he didn't change his character, but like he just improved it.
Yeah,
which I
definitely.
thought. Like I said, like we talked about, like this isn't a show like we like praise for its writing, but I feel like that was kind of good. I did think it was a little bit corny that they were like, "Oh, him playing in the band like is what gained his trust." Like, I don't know about that one.
Now, with that being said, now that Bakugo has teamwork, now I'm even more excited for this training arc to be over because now I want to see how he actually functions in a real situation and like a real like situation where he's with his other teammates. Because you know Bakugo do the thing where he's like, I'm going over here, I'm doing this, y'all stay over there, y'all do that. You know what I mean? But now if he's actually willing to work with the team, considering how strong he is, yeah, it's gonna be up.
You still never saw the second movie, did you?
The one where he got one for all?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that one is. Yeah, you need to see that. But so like after that episode, I was like on a high. I was like, damn, like My Hero, like after this arc, like
Yeah.
it's really gonna be lit. And then this next episode happened, bro.
You don't see. This is what I'm saying. I don't think you're gonna agree with my take. I don't completely dislike him getting all the quirks. I don't.
8.
I don't completely dislike that.
You
I'm not
think
gonna lie.
8 quirks for Deku is fair, or makes any kind of sense?
I think it makes sense. I don't know if it's necessarily fair. He's definitely OP.
Let's go back and just talk about the fact that Todoroki for having 2, like got recommended. He didn't even have to take the test to get into UA for having
Facts,
2. Like he
facts.
was that OP.
Facts.
We're giving this man Deku 8. One of which was such a good quirk that it was the quirk of the number 1 hero for years. And he's having 7 more besides for that. Bruh.
I mean,
Come on, bro.
he lit like
There is
that.
no
He lit-
way that
he's-
makes
he's
any
the-
sense.
He's the child of destiny. You know what I mean? Like
My thing is, it's like if they were gonna make him this OP and lit, they should have had like his personality does not match that at all, and it still doesn't. Yeah. Like, so they're just gonna make him this OP mess, but like
he's gonna be crying still.
Exactly, it's like 8 quirk Deku, like
still crying after
somebody actually a manga reader got at me at Twitter for calling that shit out there, like, oh, like obviously you ain't seen the manga, like Shigaragi's too crazy, like he had to have 8 quirks. I'm like, okay, like that doesn't make it not cheese.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And that's what I'm saying the episode before. I'm like, if that was Bakugo's one flaw, like, how does he not just go straight up from here? How is he not the best in the class? Oh, that's right. Deku gets 8 quirks. Like, that's how he's going to be better than Todoroki, like, in Bakugo, is he'll have 8 quirks. Meanwhile, Mirio got his shit taken. Like,
do you think, well, hopefully Deku get one of his quirks to fucking Mirio. Obviously, I'm just bullshitting, but
yeah,
that if they write that into the story, even if it's bull, I'll be like, okay,
yeah,
I give it to you. I give it to you.
8 though, yeah. Like, oh my god.
So
8.
Well, the quirk that they showed in this episode was the whips, right, or the little like chains, made out of whatever it may be.
I think it's called Black Whip.
Correct, Black Whip. So that's the quirk he got in this episode. He was fighting Shinso, and then like it just like exploded out of his hand. It was only on one hand too. I noticed that it was only on one hand. So do you?
Araka trying to stop him was kind of like I don't know, some cute shit.
You ugly.
Well, they're always trying to like, I don't know, low key ship those two. So it was like, of course,
they be hockey shipping him.
Of course, like Uraka like had to be the one to like calm him down and like hold him. Like, I don't know. And she was like, oh, who's there for the superheroes when they're hurt? Like,
type shit.
I think it was interesting though. The one thing about the quirk thing that like I had never thought about is like Deku didn't have a quirk, but like it is true that the people before him who had one for all, besides for All Might, obviously probably did have other quirks. So it does kind of make sense from that perspective.
That's crazy. Damn, that's crazy.
And he's gonna have all their quirks.
See, now maybe the reason why he's able to inherit all of their quirks is because he started off without a quirk.
Well, All Might also said he didn't have a quirk before it though.
Yeah, but when All Might had it, they was like it wasn't time.
Yeah, that's what they said. Shimura, who was the one before All Might,
I know,
was told.
I know. I'm saying, but like now Deku is like the destined child. Maybe they're gonna be like,
and I get that. I understand what they're going for. It's just like when the destined child is one of the worst characters on the show. It's just kind of like
when do you think? When do y'all think, or when do you think they gonna reveal the other quirks? Obviously, I don't think they're gonna do it like all at once. I think they're pretty much gonna space it out. Like he's in a fight and now he's manifested this new quirk, and they're just gonna do that a couple times.
Well, yeah. But besides for what he has in the Black Whip, they said there's 6 other ones, so that's 8.
Right.
So I wonder if they're gonna try to have him like master each one before he goes to the next one. Like I could just see this becoming like a new sort of like power scale, like in Dragon Ball, it's a new color. Like for him, it's just a new quirk whenever he needs it. Like, which is cheese.
Oh, that's what they finna do. Every time he need a buff, they just gonna pull out a new quirk.
Exactly. It's gonna be the black smoke. Somebody's gonna walk out of One for All and be like, Deku, like here you go. Like, oh my god.
Do you like? So the explanation they gave in the anime was that after All for One has been passed down through all these years, it's just like growing. Like the small core that's the center of One for All is finally growing. So now it's like, do you buy that explanation? Do you think that's kind of cheese?
It just doesn't make much sense to me, because it's like if the whole point of everything is to make One for All strong enough to beat All for One, if they gave 8 quirks to All Might, there's no chance he's not killing like All for One. Like he's not just in jail, he's dead. Like, and like, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, literally.
And that girl before him, she seems super lit too. So it's like both of them, just personality wise and character wise, both seem like they're stronger and better equipped than Deku for like this big of a mission. So for me, it's like, oh, it's not time. Why?
Every time we talk about this and how goofy Deku is, the manga readers come out like, oh, you don't know what's gonna happen. It gets so dark in the next upcoming, like. I mean, okay, I'm gonna take your word for it, but I mean, right now this shit is kind of,
I'm just ready for this arc to be over and to move on to the next one. That was the one thing that I was kind of happy about that stuff happening, was I was like, oh, this is plot outside of this training arc.
Right.
This whole training arc, like normally I feel like My Hero does a good job of at least having 2 things going on at the same time. this arc has been just his training arc. Like nothing else has been going on. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
we
the
haven't
training.
even gotten a lot of like League of Villains like
Or like
inside.
Endeavor or Hawks or anything. It's been just his training arc pretty much since the first 2 episodes. The second arc of last season was the concert. So now like this arc is them fighting each other. It's like we have 2 arcs in a row without meaningful action. It's like,
Oh no, you know we got the GOAT in between. Gentile Criminal. That's all you need. You know?
good God.
Yep. But yeah, that's the end of My Hero segment. If you have any My Hero takes, I mean, feel free to tweet them at us. I'm down to argue sometimes, I guess.